Hey, g'day, how are you? Oh, little update. So my plan was to dig all this area out. You know, I did dig that out the other day. I was going to get into it the following day, but I didn't. So what I did this morning was I just finished levelling out the ground underneath with the intention of doing this and this before I started on the retaining wall. However, it is as hard as a rock. Just to give you some sort of idea, that clay there is like rock now. The other day I could dig it, but you can't dig that. So my plan is today to do the retaining wall. This pile of sand over here, it's been here for years, so what I've been doing is cleaning off all the grass and stuff that's grown in it, because that pile of sand is good to lay bricks with. So I've dumped all of that sand in here, and I've just pulled out any green stuff, any roots that are growing in it, but it's good enough for a base. And because that earth underneath is so tough, once I just give this a rough level out with my trowel. So you just rough it up, get it level, and then I'm going to build a corner down there and a corner there. Then I'm going to run a 9-inch wall in between. It's going to look great, man. I'm excited. As far as the channel goes, I was doing some editing last night on the third part of repairing my fairing, and my program decided not to work. I'm using LumaFusion on Android. It's a beta version, so every time I did this editing, I'd go back and it had all gone back to where it started. So uninstall, reinstall. It's coming, folks. I'm sorry it's taking so long, because, you know, I am trying to grow a channel, a motorcycle channel, not a retaining wall channel, not a container channel. But it is all pertinent to living life, isn't it? And that's what's in my, I guess you call it a mission statement. Living life to the fullest. Let's do it together. Anyway, I'll get back to you shortly. I've got sweat running into my eyes. Salty eyes. I'm not crying. Okay, so the bubble says reasonably level. This is a retaining wall. There's not so much need for it to be perfect like the footings for the container. I can go off the slab there. I can level off there, get my level with this long straight edge. I get my straight edge. I'm on the sand, which makes it easier to level. You can see the straight edge is a little bit off the ground there, which means that's a bit low there, because the bubble tells me it's pretty close to level. I can see there's a bit of a high hump just here. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit, so I can just sort of take that off a little bit, which will sort of get that hollow a bit less actually there. So let me see how that is. Put my level on here. And before you say that's not a brickies level, you're right, it isn't a brickies level. I haven't got a brickies level. You tap the bricks, you hit the bricks, not the level itself. So I totally understand if you're a brickie. Of course you hit your level a lot, because you got to get those bricks in, mate. Okay, so that's reasonably level. I'm happy with that. So what I do is I just move my straight edge down a little bit. So I'll put this end to the level where I'm happy where it's level. That end's still a little bit high, and that's how I do it. But you can see there's a hollow under there too. So that being high there isn't such a bad thing, because I can take more out from up there, which means that hollow will be less. It'll fill that hollow up there. Okay, I just had to rouse at the dogs because he just decided he's going to walk on my sand that I'm trying to level out. You can see where I've leveled it, and I've got down to here. This from there to there is reasonably level, so all the sand that's left here I can scoop up and put in these little hollows that are there. Because this end was a little bit high, I just used my level to level that out. It's still just a tad high, but if I can't go any lower because of the pipe underneath, I can get it down in the brickwork. All good. Okay, mud's on. I've laid my first brick there just to get a height. Put my bricks along here. This is our footing. Because this ground is so hard and well draining, I've just laid a bit of sand. It's fatty sand, so it will set pretty hard itself. Once it gets wet, it's not going to move. This soil, it is hard as a rock. See, that's pretty damp there. You can see moss growing on it, but like I can't even push my thumb into that. It's good in a way, because when I do things like this, like a retaining wall, I don't have to worry about putting a concrete footing in. One, it's not load bearing. Two, it will probably still be here when I'm long dead and buried. Yeah, I'm just about to start a little hack. If you want good mud, put some suds in it, a bit of detergent. You can get the mortar plasticizer stuff like Bricky's Mate or Bicol, but when you're out in the middle of the country, once it's gone, detergent, mate. And it makes the mud smell nice. Yeah. Doesn't it? Yeah. That's my trusty mixer. Anyway, I'm going to put some tunes on, crack a coldie and start laying bricks. I reckon 2, maybe 3 batches, so it'll probably... The sun's, it's way past the yard arm, so I'd say it'd be around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun will be setting in a couple of hours, but because it's a 9-inch wall, I'll probably get a couple of batches in and then finish it off tomorrow. Coffee. Coffee. A good day should start with coffee. Yum. But only good coffee, not crappy coffee. I was just reminded while I was putting my socks on, I used a word yesterday, hack. I've never used hack in my videos before, but yesterday I did. So I'm going to use another hack, give you a little upsight into, you know, when you get dirt down your sock and you can get some gaiters, sock savers they call them. If you can't find any, what I do is I get an old pair of socks and I cut the toe out of them and I put them, I just put them over my boots like that. So gravel and dirt don't get in. Lifetime hack number 2. So what I do yesterday, let me grab my coffee and I'll show you. Well, this side doesn't look too spectacular because it's all commons there. Commons is bricklayer term to not face. So the last 2 courses there I tried to do a little bit neater because the last course is a header course which is going to be face because all this is going to be backfilled. That's the only sort of upside to doing a 9-inch wall where it's not face. You can just throw those back courses in. It was dark when I finished this last night. Actually, the last 2 courses, it was pitch black. I couldn't see what I was doing. I had, of course, the lights, the floodlights up there were going, but I really couldn't see what I was doing on this side. I brushed it off at torchlight. It doesn't look too bad. It's a retaining wall after all, and I'm quite happy with the result. So I reckon that's a good day's work. So 2 batches went into that. And as you can see, that first course is already underground. So I'm just going to leave that sand where it is butted up against it. There's cement on it as well. So that should hold any sand under the brickwork, even in a heavy rain. It should be cool. Cool bananas. Yeah, so that was my day's effort yesterday. I didn't have a brick count. We'll do a quick brick count, I guess. I'm going to build a corner out here, and then a header course goes across the top. It's going to look sweet. I'm excited. Talk to you later. This is the day of hacks. I decided hack is the key word in my mind anyway. So, see my wet glove there? So if you're ever bricklaying on your own, get a glove on and just wipe the bowl clean, because you never get all the cement out. This isn't just for the budget conscious, because the cement, like especially in Australia, see the sun on the bowl, the cement goes off, and your second batch will never be cream, if you're working on your own, that is, because it's going to take me hours to chew that up doing what I'm doing today. So just a little hack. Yeah, hack number 3, put a mud board over your barra when the sun's out so your mud doesn't go off. Hack number 4, if you're working off the ground like I am, always throw plenty of ties in. I've got 2 ties in there where we're stepping off. That way that pier will always be solid. If it does move, the whole pier has to move. Secondly, because that pier is unattached to this one, throw a tie across here too. Keep it engaged to the wall, and that way that pier will never move. Hack number 4, 5, 6, who's counting? If you're doing a project like mine, we've got mottled bricks, which is the effect I've gone to match the house. If you start running low on a certain type of bricks, I'm running low on browns. This is a black brick. Flip it over, it's a brown brick. Hack number 7. If you're building a low retaining wall like this and you can't get things perfectly plumb or level in a matter of 3 or 4 courses because you're doing a little bit of dodgy like I do, stand back, have a look, check it out, see what it looks like. If it looks way out of place, change it. But if it doesn't, and you can get away with the next course, the last course, looking good, just keep it, mate, even if she is out of plumb a bit. Hack number 8. When you've finished your pair, like I've done here, and you're happy with the way it's sitting, lock it in with some mud. That's what I did last night to this wall. I had a fair bit of mud left over. I went along, locked it all in, so she's nice and sturdy. Okay, hack number 8, 9 or 10, whatever it is. If you're like me and you glean leftover bricks and they're all different sizes, lay your biggest brick first and lay a few different colours in your first few bricks, just to give you an idea of your bed joint, your perps, how it works with your gauge. I'm working 600 gauge, so there's 7 bricks to 600, and always remember your extra joint. There's always an extra joint when you're laying headers. Hack number 10 to clean your bowl. Well, that's it, folks. 3 barrows of mud. I think a bit over 200 bricks, I think. 250 bricks, I think I counted up. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the result. Not bad for a couple of days work. Next I can do down that end, I'll probably drop a couple of courses there, put some steps in there. A couple of courses down and down here too. Yeah, it's going to look great. Hack number 11. Go and get some gravel to backfill your wall, and you come back and there's a plant on your pier. How's that happen? Well, Layla's starting to warm up to having a photo taken. She used to hate having a photo taken, didn't you, Layla? Yeah? She's getting there. Oh. Don't forget, guys, if you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love comments. And, yeah, share if you want. I've got over 200 subscribers now, which like doesn't seem a lot in the scheme of things, but I'm really happy, you know, like that's 200 people who dig what I do.